Hey all, Bree from the No Guilt Mom podcast, and I have got a gift for you this holiday season. If you love the No Guilt Mom podcast, and I mean love the No Guilt Mom podcast, then tell us about it. Leave us a review, and you can be entered to win a No Guilt Mom gift card. All you have to do is leave a review, take a screenshot, and then simply go to noguiltmom.com/review to enter our giveaway for a free No Guilt Mom gift card, simply for telling us what you think about the podcast. It is amazing. But don't delay. Get right on this, as we're going to be giving away that No Guilt Mom gift card on December 21st. So get right on over and visit noguiltmom.com/review.
Welcome to the No Guilt Mom podcast. I am your host, Joanne Crone, and we have another No Guilt Mom win. If you have ever felt like it is so hard to make connections and friends with other moms, or like it's just missing in your life, you are going to love this conversation with Kim, who has been a long-time Balance VIP member, and I'm so happy to have her here. So welcome, Kim, to the podcast.
Hey, how are you doing?
I was like, everyone who's come on recently, like I just saw you guys in person for the VIP retreat, and it's just nice to see your face again. So Kim, let's dig into it. What was your life like before you started really having these friendships and taking time away from your kids to nurture these friendships?
I think it was just feeling guilty about taking the time. It was always about, okay, do I have time? Because I used to teach before I got sick. I was teaching 7th grade, and then I was coaching after school. And so it was always about, do I have time? I used to live in Rhode Island. And then when we moved down to Georgia, I ended up having a stroke. And so then time was more so physical therapy. And then the pandemic happened. And so then I was finishing up with physical therapy. And as things started to open again, it was more so physical therapy and getting the kids, back on track, getting into school. So I was feeling a little guilty about giving myself that time. And then a friend of mine was like, why are you feeling guilty? You've been through a lot. You're still dealing with health issues. Give yourself a break. Give yourself that time. That's going to help you, that self-care. And in the meantime, I was looking for a book club. That's when I found you guys, No Guilt Mom. And we got started in the book club, and I noticed that you were a former teacher, so that resonated with me. And you were talking about ways to get involved with a group of women who could kind of help support one another. And we started having social hour and book clubs where we could meet authors. And we ended up clicking. The ladies came together, and I remember we just really got along, and that was helpful. And so I met Liz and Jen and Angela and Tiffany and Stacy, and with you and Bree, it felt like a really good group, and that was a supportive group.
I love that, because first your friend is saying that you need this time for yourself, this self-care, which I feel like we as moms are told that so often, but a lot of the time, and I don't know if this is how your thinking process goes, because it's how mine goes. I have a chronic illness. I have ulcerative colitis that really took me out of commission for like a year. I really wasn't the mom I wanted to be. And during that time, I felt, since I've already taken all this time away from my kids, why should I be taking more time for myself? Like, I need to give them this that they missed out on. Would you say that was your thinking through it as well?
It was, because a lot of the time of the healing process, physical therapy, or I just didn't feel well. I need to make up for that time.
I think it's something that so many people feel when they're dealing with an illness like that, or a catastrophe. And so you found this group of women, and we like to call you guys the Balance OGs, because you've been with us The OGs, you've been with us since the very beginning. So you found this group of women, and then what did you notice started happening with you? Because your friend said you needed self-care. And then did it start happening?
Oh, it did. It did. I started allowing myself to say, hey, let's get together. It's just been freeing to sit back and not put this pressure on ourselves, to feel guilty about allowing a little bit of time to sit back and share our stories with other people where everyone's going through something.
Yeah, everyone is.
You have to have a village, not just the kids to have a village, but, adults need a village.
They do. They need a village. And it also sounds like you're very vulnerable with them as well. And you let them into your life just as they let you into their lives.
It's important, and to let people know that we can share our stories. And a lot of people, especially when we become adults, we feel like we have to be tough and strong. And I get that. We're very protective to not let people in. And it's harder to make friends as we become older. And we don't want to let our guard down. If you have a feeling about someone and it's positive, give them a chance.
Yes. So that leads into my next question perfectly, because I know that a lot of people who want these friendships, something that is said often is, well, no one ever contacts me, or no one ever invites me to things. Like with your group gatherings, who's usually initiating and planning?
Me. But then sometimes other people, I'll send out a text, hey, just checking on you.
Just a simple text like that.
Just a simple text. Sometimes you do kind of feel like if you don't get an immediate response, you're like, oh.
The fear of rejection is real strong. It's strong
real.
With me
you're
too.
Like, oh no. Mm-hmm. And then when you find out later, it could be someone lost a text, or they have a different number. Oh, I'm so sorry, I didn't see it. Or, oh, my child shares my number and they deleted the text.
Mm-hmm. Or I responded to it in my mind in the multitude of things I was doing, and I'm so sorry I didn't write it down.
Or I forgot to press submit or send or whatever. It happens, but a majority of the time, good intentions. But anyway, still, people really do mean to respond. So
they do.
A lot of the times I just initiate it myself.
That's a good rule of life. If you want the interaction, and if you're saying, okay, nobody ever contacts me, you can control the situation better by reaching out yourself and making that first contact.
If you don't get the response you want, then just keep on moving. There are other people.
Exactly. So, Kim, if comparing now how you're doing in your life to before, what would you say is different? How are you doing now?
I'm not feeling as guilty about taking the time for myself. I feel very blessed to have people in my life, to be able to share and wanting to get out there. It's difficult sometimes to find the time. And I think that's the thing with some people. It's about the fear of, ooh, do I have the friends? You know what I mean? They're afraid to ask, out of fear that people will say no. Try with one. It's not about the quantity, it's about the quality.
Oh, and the time issue as well, because people are so busy right now. Even with my really good friends, we have to plan weeks in the future just to make sure we get the thing on the calendar.
Find the quality. Look at the timing. Can you find, even if it's a day a month?
I think you just did my wrap up right there for me, Kim. For everyone listening, Kim just told you exactly what you need to do to find some friends and how support can make you feel less guilty about taking that time for yourself. So, Kim, I so thank you for being on here and sharing all of your wisdom.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much for having me. Thank you.
Are you looking for something to listen to with your whole family? Then check out 6 Minutes, produced and created by Gen Z Media. With over 200 twisty, cliffhanger-filled episodes, 6 Minutes tells the story of 11-year-old Holiday, who was pulled from the icy waters with no memory of who she is or where she came from.
3 years ago, Brinley Pasternak helped the Anders family uncover the truth about Holiday's past. Now she'll need them to help her find the truth about hers. In 6 Minutes Out of Time, the long-awaited sequel, Cyrus Anders is found unconscious near the mysterious Elixir Academy in Florida, and Brinley learns the school may have a shocking connection to her missing mother.
Dive in now and get the most downloaded family audio adventure in history. Follow 6 Minutes wherever you get your podcasts. You can listen early and ad-free with the GZM family subscription.